think it's safe to say that I am not in Tennessee. In fact, this is a frozen lake behind me called Crooked Lake. And I am in between Petoskey, Michigan, and a little town that I forget the name of, where Lake Walloon is located, where I'm going to film for the Loves again and the Breakaway League again. We're staying at the Walloon Lake Inn. Apparently it's supposed to be really cool. I've never been this far north and driving, and I got this rental Jetta that I am just kind of whipping it around. Got some extra time right now, so I figured I would come fly the drone over a frozen lake. So you'll be seeing more of what's around here. And it's snowing, which I've wanted for a long time, but then I hiked last weekend up to the fire tower in Nantahala and got some, but it was not at the level of what it's coming down now. So you guys will see more, and I'll catch up with you here in just a little bit. So the name of that town that I was trying to think of earlier was Petoskey. I'm in Petoskey, Michigan, and Lake Walloon is nearby, and we're staying at the Lake Walloon Inn. But on my way in my rental car, I found this awesome little wall up against Lake Michigan, and everything is frozen and freezing, and I'm from Tennessee, so my jacket's definitely not big enough. But while I'm making this video, I wanted to talk about 3 tips for traveling with camera gear. If you want to be a travel vlogger or travel for work and create content for people, these are my 3 things that I want to tell you to kind of research on before you go and try to start traveling. So here they are. So the first thing I want to talk about is your bag. I have a couple of low pro series bags that I absolutely love. A bag is essential. You need to organize it and have your workflow go with your organization so that you know where things are and you can pull them out easily. I carry my Sony A7 Mark III and my Panasonic GH5, as well as my drone, laptop, chargers, and all. And each one of them has a separate compartment so that when the time comes to film, I know exactly what I want to grab. I go exactly to that compartment and I pull it out. Even when it's time to place SD cards and charging cables, in the back there's zipper pockets so you can put all of it somewhere, and it can be controlled chaos. It's not totally organized all the time for me because I'm constantly doing stuff, but I know that each pocket is a specific home for a specific item, so that in a moment's notice I can go in and get the equipment that I need to film. So that's the first thing. So tip number 2 is pack accordingly. I used to think that I need to bring every single thing that I have so I can be ready for whatever happens, but I think planning strategically is much more efficient. Look at the project at hand, think about what you've got to do, and pack accordingly, and don't bring everything. Because the more stuff you bring, the more stuff's either on your back or in your pack or whatever you got going on. So sometimes the lighter the better. Also, if you're gonna film in the snow in Petoskey, Michigan, bring gloves. That'll help a lot. But really, actually, gloves would help me a lot right now. This is the 2nd weekend in a row where I've gone and filmed in snowy, windy conditions, and almost fell right there. And my hands hurt. And if you're holding a camera in the snow, your hands are gonna be bare. So gloves are key. And okay, I'm learning all kinds of lessons right now. 1 is to not walk on ice, and 2 is to bring gloves. And in a previous video, I know I talked about not needing a gimbal straight out of the gate. And I use one now because I have a certain skill that I can use it with. But like today, I traveled commercially flying. So I didn't really, I had to pack accordingly. I didn't really have enough room to keep a gimbal, extra cables, more batteries that I also have to keep charged. And that's just more time. So I just can't stress enough how packing accordingly will help you out big time. Another lesson, I wore Vans. See my Vans? Not a good idea, because I just found this creek, or I don't even know what it is, but it's a water source going into the bay. And so I decided to hike up and check it out, and my feet are soaked. I didn't check the weather either, so I didn't realize it was gonna snow this much, but I am in northern Michigan, so it's my fault. So the final part to this is to find a good, rugged, external hard drive. In fact, I use a Western Digital 500 gigabyte SSD because it's a lot faster, and 500 gigs is more than I need for each trip. So while I'm filming, I put everything on an SD card, and then I go back to the hotel room or wherever I'm at that day, and I put it on my SSD, and I clear my SD card, and I go back to work. And then when I get home from traveling, I take everything off of that SSD onto my big hard drive on the computer that I use at work. Check out this lighthouse or land beacon. Obviously I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's pretty freaking cool, and it's covered in ice. And once again, I don't have gloves and I'm standing in the wind. But I hope you guys can take a little bit of that info and use it the next time you plan on traveling and filming something. I actually wanted to cut the vlog there. I have a lot more footage that I got, but I think it's more usable for my clients, and it was a little bit more sporadic. I didn't have a good timeline to put in this video. So I'm ending it here. It's actually a couple weeks later. I'm in my home studio editing the whole thing, and that's just how I wanted to end it. So I think the next time you guys are gonna see me is probably gonna be in Jamaica, or maybe something before. I was just contacted by a company about doing a review, so that might come out before then. But until the next one, I hope you guys have an awesome day.